Pardon me, boys and ladies. So, we are back from the gym, had some food, and now we are about to start with creating our digital product. I have to say, I have not meditated today. So, coming back from the gym today, out like on the walk back, I was having these intuitive thoughts, right? Intrusive thoughts. And I was thinking about maybe I should just eat again. Maybe I should just eat and watch TV, because yesterday I was eating, but I wasn't watching TV with it like how I used to. And I want to know what that feels like. And that was a thought I realized that crept back into my mind. And at that point, I was wondering like, okay, why am I thinking about this again? Didn't I say this morning that I don't want to binge eat again, that I'm going to reach number one on the leaderboards, that I'm going to create a freedom for myself? Why am I still thinking like this when I have committed so desperately, and most importantly, like I put everything on the line for this? Why am I still thinking like this? And that's the thing, guys. That's human nature. The problem isn't that we don't want to be productive. The problem isn't that we don't have goals to achieve. The problem is that we don't want to commit. There's no problem to become great, or there's no lack of resources, there's no lack of knowledge, there's no lack of skill. The only reason why that you feel like you have none of those that I had just mentioned, or you lack any of those, is because our emotions can never be suppressed. Our emotions and thoughts will always linger on as we live. And we can't just not think about something because we don't like we don't like the thought, though we don't appreciate that thought could be the thing that pulls us down. And the thing is that we have to just acknowledge that we can't control our thoughts, but we can control what we do. We can't control how we choose to react. And on the walk home, guys, I was going to act and just not do anything and just say, you know what? I bought the course is going to be here. I have like 30 days, maybe I could just put the today off and just, whatever. But the point isn't about the lane. The point is about your self-confidence and what it does to you psychologically and internally when you choose to put something off and not start, when you choose to say no, even though you set goals. It's not about how long you take. It's about following through in that moment. And I said I'm going to create this product. I said I'm going to reach number one on leaderboards. I said I am going to stick with my diet, and therefore I am. And this feeling of just this mind controlling me is my old self trying to say, David, you have time. David, you don't have to do it, but I want it, and I will do it. And at the end of the day, guys, you can't listen to your thoughts. You simply can't. If you do, then you're going to be enslaved and you're not going to achieve anything. So let's get to it, guys. I have ideas already. Didn't eat too much carbs. I only had an apple, so I'm not too sluggish. But even though that doesn't really affect too much. Again, it's only a mindset. And the reason why also that I'm still thinking about all these distractions when I have something like this to keep myself busy is new, right? Is new. And with every habit I start, initially it's going to feel weird. Initially, you feel there's no point, but after a while, you'll attach a sense of purpose towards it. If that isn't, you haven't found purpose beforehand. Like for me, when I was building my application, there was purpose, there was reason, there was a why. Therefore, I managed to do it without any structure. Right. But at the end of the day, I succumbed to my desperateness, which is again my emotions.
Welcome everyone to the first walkthrough inside of Synthesize AI. So what you will see on my screen right here is basically the dashboard. Now my dashboard has a lot of different things on it because I've been testing, I've been building different kind of products to optimize the software.
I think it's lagging. I have no idea. All right, let's refresh. I think I just crashed. Yeah. Great. It's only 6 minutes, so I'm not gonna fast forward too much.
First walkthrough inside of Synthesize
AI. What's happening? Why is this glitching?
Right here is basically the dashboard. Inside of my dashboard has a lot of different things on it because I've been testing, I've been building different kind of products.
Shit like this happens, guys. You know, it's gotta whatever.
Now, you may not know it yet, but you just made one of the most important decisions of your life.
No, my most important decision was to show up here and not choose distraction. That's the most important step. I'll do 1.2 speed.
Right, welcome everyone to
Oh
the
my
first
God.
walkthrough inside of Synthesize AI. So what you will see on my screen right here is basically the dashboard. Now my dashboard has a lot of different things on it because I've been testing, I've been building different kind of products to optimize the software and working with our developers. But when you jump in, there'll be absolutely nothing here. Okay. So when you go to your first product, the first thing you want to do is just click on this little create button over here. You will see that I have a whole lot of options that come up. The first thing you want to actually just check is what language you want to do it in. Now, I don't want you to feel forced to do it in English. That's a big mistake that a lot of beginners actually make, is they feel like they have to do an English product. Now, you'll see here that we have Arabic, Chinese, Dutch, French, you name it. We have a whole lot of different options here. So if you feel like there's a market in your country for a digital product and you feel more confident, as an example, speaking Dutch, go ahead and do the product in Dutch, okay? Because there's a good enough market for it, and sometimes there'll be even less competition. So just a little bit of advice there, but Synthesize does give you a lot of different languages. To start with, I'll just start this with my digital product. We'll stick with that, and then we're just gonna go to create. All right, now you will be taken to this page, okay? So the first step that you wanna take is what we're gonna focus on in this video is discovering your unique value zone, okay? So in other words, it's basically like your topic, but it's going to be quite a specific topic. We don't want to look for things like how to make money online or fitness. Like those are super saturated. There's big people in that space. Your competitive advantage is to be a specialist in something, and that's what Synthesize will help you do here with your unique value zone. Very simple. Click on start, and you will
Yeah. Let's just
stick with that, and then we're just going to go to create. All right, now you will be taken to this page. Okay, so the first step that you want to take is what we're going to focus on in this video is discovering your unique value zone. Okay, so in other words, it's basically like your topic, but it's going to be quite a specific topic. We don't want to look for things like how to make money online or fitness. Like those are super saturated. There's big people in that space. Your competitive advantage is to be a specialist in something, and that's what Synthesize will help you do here with your unique value zone. Very simple. Click on start, and you will be presented with these two options. Okay, so on the left, it's find profitable opportunities. Here, Synthesize will do all the heavy lifting for you, okay? It will find different opportunities, but then if I click on, I have something in mind, I can actually go ahead here and, describe exactly what I want to do a digital product on. Use this with caution. Like, you don't want basically go your own routes and start making things on topic. Definitely will not work. But if you know where you want to go with something, you can use this flow. But for the sake of I'm going to use Synthesize to actually come up with the different opportunities for me. So it's going to take me to this page here, and I'm just going to click on generate. As you'll see here, this can take a little bit of time, maybe around 5 minutes. So I'm going to check in with you guys once I have been given 20 different. I'll show you in a second, but you can actually regenerate if you don't like the 20 options, but I'll check it. All right. Now you will see that there's a whole lot of UVZs or unique value zones that are actually being generated at the moment. It's going to give you 20 to start off with. Now, I was waiting a good 5 minutes. So if you are waiting for a long time, don't stress. That's the AI actually doing proper research in the background. Like we used to have it where it went a lot quicker, but the longer we actually made that period to give the AI to actually get the right results, we actually got much better results in terms of the actual UVZs. So you will see on this page, you're going to see a few things, right? You're going to see scores. Now, the score here is out of 10. So this one here is a 10. You'll see it's green. As you go down the limb, Synthesize starts to tell you that, some of these are better than others. So I would always try and stick to one of the green ones, but I'm not saying that anything, below like a 9 is not going to work. There's definitely things that can work. You basically want to pick something that definitely attracts you, but also you can see that there's going to be an audience for, right? So let's kind of like look through a couple of these, right? So teach creators to build a weekly editing workflow using template libraries and trend calendars. Now, I know that is something that we even use internally. So I can actually see that people would buy something like that. So that's definitely a good one. Maybe you're a woman watching this and you've personally gone through some of the stuff, or you just like the topic in terms of, teach women returning to dating, how to use boundary scripts and first message templates to spot manipulation early. Maybe you've gone through something like that in your life, and you think that's definitely something that you can get involved in. But you'll see there's tons of different options here, okay? Now, if you go through all of these and you say, none of these are ready for me, you can go ahead and you can regenerate. It's going to give you completely different ones, and you can select again. Now, I know that a lot of you guys watching this might go with the flow that I discussed previously, where you actually input some of your interests or something like that. You can do that, but these ones are a little bit more child and tested, so just keep that in mind. But because I know a little bit about this in terms of short form editing and that kind of stuff, I'm going to stick with this one. So all that you're going to do is you're going to pick this. You also have this option, which is quite cool. If you like, as an example, I said I like the editing part. Like if you like that, but it's not exactly the one that you want, you can go find similar, and it will show you a whole lot of different like options that are more closely related to the one that you actually like. So you guys can use that option as well. And then I'm just going to click on continue, and there we go. Now you will see that you have your unique value zone right here, and it's actually started to give you all of these options. Now, if you are a standard member watching this, you have the two options in terms of creating an ebook and a video course. If you are a pro member, you will also have a third option, which is creating like a coaching offer. So that's more like a mentorship kind of offer. This one is like obviously a video course, and this is more of a PDF ebook type of structure. Now I'm going to end this video here, and then in the next video I'm going to take you through the ebook flow, and then I'll also take you through the video course flow, but we'll get into those in a second. So up to this point, just make sure that you guys have got your unique value zone and you guys get to this point. Only then watch the next video. We can kind of get into that together and just make sure that you are following along. Cool, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, let's see what we got. I teach homeowners planning a mid-range kitchen refresh to map timelines, layout zones, and lead times to avoid delaying change. That could be. I know my mom is literally obsessed with home renovation, but she's more into the garden niche. Kitchen, home and garden. There's home and garden. Niche. I teach homeowners planning and mid-range kitchen. So we're talking about like middle income people. Honestly, middle income people are the people who have literally time on their hands to do a kitchen or to like renovate a house. If you're in poverty, you literally have no time. If you're rich, well, you'll get someone to do it. But it's middle range people, especially middle range housewives, that literally just stay at home and do shit all. That could be a good idea. I show first time puppy buyers how to verify breeder health testing paperwork and spot contract red flags before paying a deposit. I teach remote small landlords with 1 to 3 units to implement a tenant request workflow that cuts missed repairs and emergency calls. I help adults leaving controlling parents use boundary scripts and non-contact routines to regain calm in daily life. I help adults leaving controlling parents. Is that even a thing though? Oh, would I say something? that could work. I show late 20 professionals on dating apps who's keep getting ghosted how to use proven openness and message sequence. I think that's more like in line with what I want to do. Not intentionally dating, but like just knowing exactly what to say is important. And I feel like a lot of people, I feel like if we change this, like, oh, there's no, is there a choose similar? My mouse is just, so that, all right, now my mouth is just, oh, there we go. So I show remote. Like I feel like this would be more like a TikTok content, you know, like you actually making organic content where yeah, I'm gonna do this one. Or I could do something fun similar. I mean, even that will improve my own skills. So I mean, to be honest, like shit, I might have learned something. Most likely, I will learn something actually. Just like when I was trying this SMMA business, like I was doing hair salons, God knows why. And although I didn't make any clients or sales, like I could nail down like different areas of different salons of how much they charge for their service. Like literally. And I never even walked into a salon. And that's because I was literally doing 100 cold calls a day. And you may say, oh, David, that's not a lot. You know, David, you know, maybe 200 would be enough. As someone who never done cold calling and as someone who classified himself as introverted and shy, that was like, that was breaking out of my boundaries, you know. But obviously that did not last long. 2 weeks into it, like I was getting results, not gonna lie. Like I was literally booking meetings. I was getting close to closing a deal, but for whatever reason, like I allowed my emotions to catch up to me and I didn't do it. And I said, fuck it. And then when you allow one bad habit to slip in, you kind of feel like now you can justify for everything else. And that's not the case, you know, that's literally not the case. Like same as today, like the reason why I bit my tongue again, the reason why, you know, I'll think it's okay to come back and eat is because yesterday I ate. And if I eat today, I was like, oh, well, it's not too bad because I ate yesterday and, you know, I didn't look too fat today. Like, even though I did look a bit too puffy, but what's so bad if I do it again? And it's exactly this thought and story that I used to tell myself, which would compound into destruction, literally. Like, yes, one day of binging is fine. But if you have this mindset where you allow the gates to flood and your one day of binging goes into 2 days and 3 days, well, then you're fucking cooked. It's literally like that. You are cooked. Let's see. Planning first days that minimize flakes using message scripts and logistic checklists. Reducing catfishing and scams with verification scripts and profile vending steps. I feel like Tinder and shit does that already. Like, yes, flakes are annoying, and definitely they are. Like, even when I was using, when I was on campsite apps, yes, I was on campsites, big deal. Like, you have a lot of these cam models, right? And their pictures will be so fake. I mean, they'll look so good on the pictures. And when you call them up, they look fucking horrible. And because I was a stingy guy, and most of the times I just did not want to click on a private call and just to be charged and just to see that the girl's freaking ugly. Because I was like I literally was poor. I literally was spending my government benefit on campsite addiction. And I would, just not click on those profiles and call them directly because I was too afraid that there may be catfishes. But would I pay for a service that would verify what they look like before I call them? I could imagine that saving some time and of course money. But then again, it's would I pay for something like that? I feel like if that was integrated in the app, then that would be a feature I would buy. But this is saying reducing catfish and scams with the verification scripts and profile venting steps. I feel like who would buy something like this? Old people? Old, lonely, middle-aged people? Men? Converting dating app matches into phone numbers with the 3-step text sequence. The one thing I'm afraid is that this may just be shit. I'll fuck with this. I'll fuck with this. Let's see what happens. Selected. Is it selected? Okay, so now what? I'll continue. I think this is. You know what? I'll just do this for the sake of it. I definitely know that the kitchen renovation is a bomb. It definitely will be, but I feel like gardening will be better for say. I don't even know if red pill is even that popular at the moment anymore. I know there's a market for that for sure, but let's just see. I mean, to be honest, I'm doing this because I'm literally curious.
Right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the next video.
Myself.
Today, we are going to go through the
That's the thing, guys. You gotta have fun with this shit. Otherwise,
ebook flow. Okay, so what I want to do is just kind of explain a little bit about why the ebook flow is there and how it's actually used. So, of course, some people just sell ebooks. We actually have an example of someone that we know that I think has made up to $11 million just selling ebooks. So it is something that you can do, but most of the time in our industry, we use the ebook as almost like a proof of concept, because you must understand that the biggest advantage about digital products and synthesizers, you can do it over and over again. You can go through that UVZ flow that I've just shown you multiple times, make multiple products, whether they're ebooks, whether they are video courses, you can do so many until you actually find a winner. But the ebook is actually used for that because it is so quick to make that you can start selling an ebook really quickly. If you start making sales, great. You can turn that into a video course. If it doesn't hit with your audience, completely fine. You just move on to something else. You don't want to waste time. So that's basically the function that the ebook plays. It's kind of like just giving you that proof of concept that you need before you can, possibly invest into certain acquisition strategies, whether that's ads or whatever, or, you just decide, I don't really have the time to make a video course right now. I want to make sure that this works before I actually put that kind of time in. And that's exactly what an ebook can do for you. So without further ado, let's get into that. So you just want to click on create ebook, and it's going to take you to this page over here. Like everything in Synthesize, you'll see that it is taking a little bit of time to load. And I don't want you guys to see, long loading times as negatives, because it is the AI working hard in the background. But you're going to be faced with this page, okay? And there's quite a steady flow here. So you're going to start with the visceral transformation map, okay? That's going to be the first step. You'll find that everything in Synthesize is just step by step, always starting at the top, always buttons for absolutely everything. You just want to click on get started, and you want to create your transformation map. Okay, here you will see that it's generating, and what you are going to find here is probably one of the more important things that you actually have to select, and that's going to be your ebook packaging. Okay, like how is it actually going to be packaged? So let's wait for those packages to come through, and then
That's super important, guys. Like I feel like, again, my always belief, well, my belief, ever since learning about business and self improvement, is that knowledge is universal. Our knowledge is the same, most likely, and in some cases, yes, ideas may be different, but overall, like ideas, I mean, knowledge is mostly universal, mostly universal. Does that mean there are some right, some wrong? Yes, but ideas and knowledge, knowledge and almost, in most cases, universal. Don't know why that took so long to say. But you'll see these people, right? Like some people would like, oh, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, where you hear someone else, casually explain, oh, by the way, guys, this is how you, do bicep curls, and this is how you, meal prep and stuff. And then you'll skip over them. You'll skip over them saying, oh, whatever, this is just another fitness person. But then someone totally different, right, could be saying the exact same thing, but the way they deliver, the way they, package it, the way they, make it sound, is like they become the professional, and then you're like, oh shit, this guy makes so much sense. And that literally is, guys, ideas are universal. Knowledge is universal, but the way you package and deliver shit matters. And of course, yes, the quality have to get you results, right? Otherwise, you ain't gonna get clients back. It's like back in the day when I was, trapping, I guess you guys can say that. If the product is shit, it ain't gonna get clients back. So the product has to be good, right? Or okay. But then you have some people who, will sell the same shit, but then they will sell more than you. And you gotta understand, like, why is that? And you realize that, okay, maybe I don't have credibility yet. Maybe I don't have enough reviews. Maybe I'm not writing a good description of what this shit is. And eventually when you build your brand, you can lean off a little bit if you want, but that's just also being complacent. You won't attract new customers, but you have your loyal customers believing in you, and that's important. Anyways, don't condone whatever I just said, but same knowledge applies, guys. People work the same, and this time I'm gonna fucking prove it.
All right, there we go. Cool. So now you will see that there's a whole lot of different kind of formats that you can pick, right? So there's challenges, there's templates, there's case studies.
So what is this? Map out the key transformation your customers will experience. Define clear before and after states to articulate the tangible outcomes of your solution. Ebook packaging. Each packaging is built around a hidden urgency, strategic edge, and irresistible offer angle, ready to park action and drive sales. The 24-hour transfer checklist course. Product a single tight checklist that moves a match to a digital with 24 hours. Big hook, a number bridge template, timing window, detector frame. Safety first timing, the 24-hour transfer checklist course. 7 days, 30 matches, 10 number challenge. That's not bad. Ghost proof transfer. Halloween is coming up, so this may be a good idea. The weekend search plan. What is this?
These plans, there's another plan one here. You'll see that there's a whole lot, okay? Now, just like with the UVZ step, the ones that they see will work the best will always be at the top. And as it goes down, this is where Synthesize starts to doubt some of them, okay? Something that you will see is that different formats can actually be, more expensive or a little bit cheaper based on the format itself, because certain formats are longer than others, more in depth. But there's actually some advantages to actually having slightly cheaper products. Sometimes they can be used as lead magnets. They also are often like quick win products, which are really, really good because, there's no time objection really. People are like, like look at this one as an example, 7-day edit challenge. Like everyone has 7 days to throw into an ebook, and it's $75. Like people are like, learn how to edit for $75. Like I can do that. So you'll see like this one is definitely a little bit more in depth because it's, a 90-day efficient editor plan, $260, a lot more expensive. But I think for this one, let's just go with the highest score. Let's go with trend and template secrets. This is more of a case study option. You know what? I'm doubting myself. I'm actually going to go with the template library toolkit. I think it's a little bit cheaper, and I like the template side of this. So I'm actually going to go with this one. So I'm just going to.
I don't know what this is.
And then nothing else I need to do. I just go to the next step. Now what it's going to do is it's going to start, basically generating the before and after.
What does it mean by big hook? Like, well, like you hook fish? Is that what it means?
Okay, so you will see that there's always going to be 3 states here. What do they have? They have a chaotic editing process that feels disorganized and inefficient, relying on inconsistent methods to handle trend changes and template needs. And then, a ready-to-use library of editing templates that streamline their weekly workflow, saving hours of work and ensuring that they never miss a creative trend. Now, you will see that there's basically 2 categories for this. What will they do and what is their status? All of the different topics will also always have these 3 before and after states. You don't have to do anything on this step. It's just to kind of give yourself a better understanding of, what you are actually selling someone, okay? And then you can just click continue, and this is going to be your transformation map. Right, amazing. Categories for this, what will they do and what is their status? All of the different topics will also always have these 3 before and after states. You don't have to do anything on this step. It's just to kind of give yourself a better understanding of, what you are actually selling someone.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to show this. State, what do they have? A long list of matches and dry chats that fizzle. Okay, so this is already targeting people who are pulling. Screens full of small talk, no numbers saved this week, and a notes app of random lies that don't land. Anxiety about asking for digits without sounding pushy, weekend calendar empty even after swiping a lot. A plug and play pack of 3 text bridges tied to her bio hooks. Oh, so it is targeting women? No judgments. I'm just wondering, like, women don't really have a problem though. If you're having matches, like, okay, maybe the way my belief around women is just totally different. Maybe they are just as fucking anxious as men, But we men just make everything awkward because we have fucking testosterone, like, and we are dying, for some action. Maybe that's the only reason why. But shit, like, I think that's true, guys. Maybe women are just as anxious as men. Anyways, a plug and play pack of 3 text bridges tied to her bio hooks, plus a clear path to ask in message 3. What is message 3? A steady stream of new contacts saved with context, weekly numbers coming in, message that feel personal, get quick replies, and cleanly move off app. What do they do? Open the app. Overthink. What do they do? What do they? I'm a bit confused. Like, is this mean like who is this targeting? The state. Let me hold on.
Their status, all of. Yep. Now what it's going to do is it's going to start, basically generating the before and after states. Okay, so you will see that there's always going to be 3 states here. What do they have? They have a chaotic editing process that feels disorganized and inefficient, relying on inconsistent methods to handle trend changes and template needs. And then, a ready-to-use library of editing templates that streamline their weekly workflow, saving hours of work.
Okay, so What do they do? What do they do? What do they do? They open the app, overthink Carballo, send generic openers and store for days, ask for IG as a dodge, drop a late, we should text, that gets ignored, double text, apologize or go quiet, swipe more instead of converting the chat already here. Scan her profile, pick a hook, and drop text one that mirrors it. So, first of all, saying that after a plug and play pack of 3 text bridges tied to her bio hooks. Oh, okay, so I'm being the stupid one. So yes, this is targeting men. Scan her bio, pick a hook, and drop text 1 that mirrors it. Follow with the playful planning text 2. Deliver a clean, consistent forward number asking text 3. Piece replies user of micro follow-up if needed and move to iMessages/WhatsApp smoothly. Spend less time swiping and more time converting. What is their status? Feel stuck, try hard and invisible, worried about sounding creepy or asking too soon. Second guesses every move, gets the ego hit or being left on read and feel apps fatigue. Lately I've been getting these pimples because I was, overeating and shit and, too much test in my body right now. And now I bit my tongue and it literally feels like I have fucking rabies or something. But I don't have rabies, I promise. Feels calm, in control and respectful, confident in the timing and watering, seen as thoughtful and human, momentum each week, less fatigue and more days on the calendar. All right, sounds like what I need actually, guys.
A creative trend. Now, you will see that there's basically 3 categories for this. What will they do and what is their status? All of the different topics will also always have these 3 before and after stage. You don't have to do anything on this step. It's just to kind of give yourself a better understanding of, what you are actually selling someone, okay? And then you can just click continue, and this is going to be your transformation map. Right, amazing. So transformation map will always be in 4 stages, okay? And it just basically explains what the flow of the ebook is going to look like. We're always kind of starting with awareness and an assessment, starting to learn and strategize. And then from there, it's an implementation stage where you actually start adapting your workflow. And then at the end, you'll always end with mastery and expansion. You can read through these. And something I will say is I'm obviously going through it nice and quickly just so I can show you guys exactly where you need to click and that kind of thing. But when you are doing this properly, just read this stuff. You can always come back to it, but it's always good to kind of read it and make sure that you are happy with what you are creating. So here, I'm just going to click on.
Okay, so stage 1, I might need to get my mom's mouse because this mouse is literally just, I slam it too hard or something, guys, I'm telling you. All right, stage 1, awareness from endless chats to clean transfer. Audit 10 active chats. The goal, audit 10 active chats. So this is targeting someone already that is looking good, which is something I had planned originally. Right? I was planning about this idea where, good-looking guys, but they don't know what to say. And, being a good-looking guy myself, I don't know what to say at times. And, at times you miss out on opportunities, not because of your looks, but because of the mercy of your lack of communication skills. I think I said it right. Maybe I said it wrong. But, sometimes for good-looking guys, it's always the way they especially if you were ugly before, like how I was, and that destroyed your confidence. Building muscle, getting your looks in check, even after, but during that period, you did not work on your communication skills, then you still wouldn't know what to say, even though you are confident in the way you, look and stuff. When you don't know what to say and someone rejects you because of that, then you're going to result it back to your looks because you think, because I used to look ugly and shit. But that's not true. They gave you a chance, like so many people have gave me a chance ever since I look good, but I just don't know what the fuck to say. Excuse my French, but I just don't know what to say, and then I lose out on the fish goes look for some other hooks, guys. So yeah. So this is great. This is targeting someone who's just like me. Is this app hear me or something? Anyways, this is where you stop stalling and start seeing each chat as a short bridge. Not a never-ending hangout. Your shift from fearing the ask to trusting a consent forward, context-rich move, your baseline, your next week, how many numbers, average reply gap, and where trend dies. You learn to spot green lights, like message velocity, share jokes, and bio hooks. You set boundaries, pick a simple weekly target, and commit a moving off app fast while keeping it respectful and human. Step 2, learning. Build your 3 text ready number flow. Create 9 scripts, 3 per app, Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, with micro variants, plus 1 timing checklist and 1 safety line you can reuse. You build a repeatable 3-step text approach. Text 1 mirrors her bio hook. Text 2 adds a playful plan. Text 3 delivers as clean. Consent asks with a time-bound reason. Your tune tone to the app vibe and write soft and playful versions of different moves. You add a micro flow up that feels light, not needy. You practice pacing. Learn how to read her responses, safe style, and rehearse your lines so they sound natural. By the end, you have plug and play scripts ready to drop. Stage 3, implementation, 24-hour transfer execution. Run the sequence on 8 chats with 24 to 72 hours and land at least 3 new numbers, tracking ask, replies, and conversations. You stop overthinking and start executing. You pick active chats, drop text 1 to minus, follow with a playful text 2, and ask in text 3 with consent and context. You watch timing windows, reply without rushing, and use your micro follow-up if the thread slows. You log each attempt, what worked and what stalled. You keep tone friendly, never pushy. You aim for quick, clean handoffs to iMessage or WhatsApp. Momentum kicks in as you see numbers come in and anxieties drop. Step 4, mastery. Consistent numbers, low growth rate. Maintain 5+ numbers per week with under 20% post-transfer ghost rates and 80% reply rates so you can sort rates to maintain 5 numbers per week with under 20% post-transfer ghost rates at the 80% reply rate to your ask across apps. You turn wins into a routine. You run a simple 30-day daily block, prime chats, drop your 3 text flow and log results. Your refined timing windows, stitch tone by time of day, add voice notes variants when trust needs a boost. You cut flakes by anchoring a micro plan and context at the arcs. You use recovery lines on slow treads without sounding needy. The mindset is calm and consent, respectful, human, and clear. You track your metrics weekly and make small tweaks for steady growth. I've been reading too much.
Yeah, now that is complete. Okay. Now that is just the first step of 3 that you actually want to do. This one is very, very important. Okay. It does give you the opportunity to skip it. I highly suggest not skipping this step. Okay. So if you go to get started here, you will see that my reference library is empty, okay? And I always want to add a reference. So you go to add reference. And so what this page will do is it will actually give you the opportunity to enter any references you need to make the product more your own, okay? So you don't have to add references, but ultimately what will happen is Synthesize will start pulling information from experts all over the place. But I'll give you an example. If I was making a product on something to do with YouTube, I would try and pull some of, the internal SOPs that I have from, let's say, Iman and our CMO Luis, because I believe in their marketing strategy. So I want my beliefs to be in my product, so you can put that in. And these resources can be anything. It can be YouTube videos, which I find very, very helpful. They can also be like theses online, anything text-based, anything that you've written yourself, Notion, anything like that. You can just plug the link in there, the actual file itself, and then you can just go ahead and add that resource. I'm not going to add anything here, but it's a super simple process.
Okay. So
decided to create the text series. I was a little torn as far as how to present it, because usually when I teach, I want to teach you the exact reason why before I teach you the how, because the why controls the how. However, with texting, what I also want to do is I want to teach you the thing that will get you the biggest result for the most people as fast as possible. And so I decided to lead with that. So the thing that I see wrong in the most guys' text game that I see that I coach is the following. They don't know where they're at in the interaction. They don't know if the girl really likes them and it's time to make plans, or they don't know if it's fading and they need to recover it, right? And so the most important thing I can give you right up front in a text system is a way of knowing exactly where you're at and exactly what to do next. And that's what I'm going to give you in this video. What I'm basically going to tell you is this. Every single text you've ever received if you're anything like almost every guy who's ever learned game, texting and online messaging are fucking frustrating, right? A lot of people give you rules. A lot of people say, do this, do that, do the other. But then when you see good texters text, they break the rules all the time. And so it's kind of like, I've heard this is true of law, right? You spend law school learning all the rules, and then you spend your entire career learning all the exceptions, because the only thing that seems to matter is the exceptions, right? And if it's the same thing with texting. If I give you formulaic, structured, do this, do that kind of rules, then you're going to mess up and you're actually going to commit a lot of errors because
Why is this all shorts? I don't want to watch shorts. There we go.
what if I were to tell you you could be getting 5 times to 10 times as many dates from apps like Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, Match.com than you're currently getting, simply by making a few small tweaks in your messaging? If you're like most guys, you're absolutely terrible at messaging and you're losing 80 to 90% of your potential dates because of it. And here's the thing, good messaging isn't complicated. It's actually very, very simple. Most of the time when I'm messaging a girl to get her from the app to off of the app, it's 4 to 7 texts, and they're not even complicated texts. Every single one has a purpose. Every single one is moving it closer to the outcome. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that also in this video. In just a few minutes, I'm going to explain to you my online day.
Is this guy still popular? or
So,
what?
you ready? Yeah, awesome. So this is something that I really love talking about in general, not just even in the scope of game, but just in the scope of life, right? I love words, I love talking, and I want to teach you guys how to use words in game, how to be more charismatic, and then hopefully, like my little side goal from this is I hope every one of you loves language just a little bit more at the end of this too, right? So that's kind of what I want to do with you guys. So goals of this talk, number one, first of all, charisma and communication, it does start with an attitude. I'm going to teach you lots of skills, but the attitude, the desire to communicate in the right way, the desire to be charismatic, to captivate, matters as much as the skill, and without the desire, the skill will never manifest. And I'm going to teach you general communication and general, like, how to convey you.
Oh my god. Holy shit. I think I broke this mouse, like officially. Okay.
Process, just throw it in here, add resource, and it will be stored and included in your final product. Okay, so here I'm just going to say skip for now, and I'm going to just continue to the last step, which is just the structure of the ebook. Okay, so basically what you have here is the structure of what Synthesizer is giving you as like a basic outline of what they think your ebook should look like. You will see that it gives you a bit of a pricing range here. You know, it tells you a little bit about it, a little bit about what you will learn, all that different stuff. Now you can edit these details. You can change it to maybe be a little bit shorter. Maybe you don't want it to be 3 chapters with a whole lot of bonus material. Maybe you feel like 100 minutes of reading time is a lot, 20,000 words. You can actually change all of that here if you would like to. But for now, I'm not going to save too much, but you can change basically whatever you want. I do like letting Synthesize do most of the heavy lifting, but it's always good to make something a little bit more your own if you are obviously looking at it as a long-term product that you want to really go after and stick to. I would kind of try and make it my own. But here I'm just going to go to save changes, and then you'll see that everything is all good there. And then I just
To be honest, guys, this isn't something I would buy. Thinking about it now, this is not something I would buy. The reason why I'm having trouble writing this is because I literally don't know what the fuck I'm writing, you know? A step-by-step playbook that turns dating apps matches into phone numbers using a proven 3-step text sequence includes word-for-word script, timing rules, storytelling, and flirting frameworks, objection handling, recover path for ghosting, and real conversation breakdowns made to get already interested girls out on a date with you. The fuck, like that's. Let's just make the product today.
Then just need to create the table of contents. Just need to make sure that that's done. And then from there, we are getting pretty close to having the full ebook. Okay, so here you will see that it's kind of generating in the background. You'll see that it's generating, 0 out of 13 chapters here. It's generating a cover page. It's busy with the introduction. You'll actually see it scripting as you go, which is quite cool. You'll see that this is now complete. I can preview this, but I'm going to check in with you guys in a second when this is fully scripted and completed. And then I will show you guys a little bit more about how to review this, how to preview everything, and just make it as good as it can be. I'll check in with you guys in a sec. All right, guys, so now your ebook has actually been generated. You'll see I've moved my camera back to the left because it was getting in the way of everything. So first things first, cover image. You will see that it has already kind of made you a cover image. You can regenerate this one. I would probably regenerate this one. It's just not really my style. In the program, we also show you guys how to use Canva templates and stuff like that. In order to make really, really high quality cover images. But if you're not someone that really wants to do that and you're just testing a product right now, you can literally just use the AI one that is given to you by Synthesize. Then you will have your introduction. You will see that you can just preview it. Very, very simple. Just takes, the person that's going through the ebook through all of the basics. Nothing too serious here. Now, you'll see from section 2, you actually have a little bit more to do. You can go ahead here and regenerate this section. If you don't like it, you can regenerate it, and you can also edit it yourself. You can make changes to whatever you want. If it's not aligned with what you want, you'll see that there's some bonus phases here. And now, during this part, I would actually do this properly. Obviously, I'm racing through it, but when you are doing this for yourself, you want to make sure that you are happy with all the content that you actually are putting out there. You want to go through this nicely and just make sure that you are
That's true.
happy with everything. Go to Open Editor. So once you've done everything there, you will see here now this is actually your full ebook, right? So from the introduction, absolutely everything that you need is in here, and it's very, very long. You guys can see that it's, you know, it's full of content, everything that you need. Sometimes you'll have to make a couple of like small formatting changes if you want to. Like as an example, I'm a bit of a perfectionist OCD kind of person. I might bold these or something like that, but you can make those changes yourself if you feel the need to. But for the most part, digital products are all about actually solving the problem, right? So if this solves the problem for the person that, you know, I need to solve it for, no problem. That's completely fine. And yes, this is basically your final outcome, right? So you've gone to your ebook builder here, you've done all the steps here, and now you have your ebook. First thing you probably want to do once you're happy with this is you want to see it in like the presenter mode, and you can export this to PDF as well, or you can just do a straight download, and then it just opens up in your PDF software. So very, very simple. The product charter you will see here. In a later section, you'll see how we actually use the product charter, but that is actually for Ghostwriter. So Ghostwriter uses a lot of this information, like things like your target audience, you know, exact problem that you are fixing, and it actually creates the marketing content for you. So I would always just give this a download just so that you can use it later. But at the end of the day, this is just your ebook. This is not the video course itself. So in the next video, I'm going to go back and actually show you how to do the video course. But if you just need that something to kind of get you a little bit of proof of concept, or it's maybe just a side product that you're working on alongside your main one, you just want an ebook for it, this is a great feature to use. And yeah, definitely start with the ebook feature. Don't go straight to the video course unless you are 100% sure that you know that you want to do that one. But I'll go into that in the next video. For now, just make sure that you guys have done your ebook, and then you can follow along in the next video when I actually do the video course. So I'll see you guys there.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? happened?
Just giving you that proof of concept that you need. Let's just go with the highest score. Let's go with trend and template secrets. You know, this is more of a case, suggest not skipping this step, okay? So if you go to get, then you'll see that everything is all good there. And then I just generate this one. I would probably read this, but I'm going to check in with you guys in a second when this is fully scripted and completed. And then I will show you guys a little bit more about how to review this, how to preview everything, and just make it as good as it can be. I'll check in with you guys in a sec. All right, guys, so now your ebook has actually been generated. You'll see I've moved my camera back to the left because it was getting in the way of everything. So first things first, cover image. You will see that it has
That's fucking shit. I would never buy something like this. Come on, like. No. Mm-mm. I'm making my own actually. I like the background, so I'm gonna use this.
it's already kind of made you a cover image. You can regenerate this one. I would probably regenerate this one. It's just not really my style. In the program, we also show you guys how to use Canva templates and stuff like that in order to like make really, really high quality cover images. But if you're not someone that really wants to do that and you're just testing the product right now, like you can literally just use the AR one that is given to you by Synthesize. Then you will have your introduction. You will see that you can just preview it. Very, very simple. Just takes, you know, the person that's going through the ebook through all of the basics. Nothing too serious here. Now, you'll see from section 2, you actually have a little bit more to do. You can go ahead here and regenerate this section. If you don't like it, you can regenerate it, and you can also edit it yourself. You can make changes to whatever you want. If it's not aligned with what you want, you'll see that there's some bonus phases here. Now, during this part, I would actually do this properly. Like, obviously, I'm racing through it, but when you are doing this for yourself, you want to make sure that you are happy with all the content that you actually are putting out there. You want to go through this nicely and just make sure that you are happy with everything. Go to Open Editor. So once you've done everything there, you will see here now this is actually your full ebook, right? So from the introduction, absolutely everything that you need is in here, and it's very, very long. You guys can see that it's, you know, it's full of content, everything that you need. Sometimes you'll have to make a couple of like small formatting changes if you want to. Like as an example, I'm a bit of a perfectionist OCD kind of person. I might bold these or something like that, but you can make those changes yourself if you feel the need to. But for the most part, digital products are all about actually solving the problem, right? So if this solves the problem for the person that, you know, I need to solve it for, no problem. That's completely fine. And yes, this is basically your final outcome, right? So you've gone to your ebook builder here, you've done all the steps here, and now you have your ebook. First thing you probably want to do once you're happy with this is you want to see it in like the presenter mode, and you can export this to PDF as well, or you can just do a straight download, and then it just opens up in your PDF software. So very, very very simple. The product charter you will see here. In a later section, you'll see how we actually use the product charter, but that is actually for Ghostwriter. So Ghostwriter uses a lot of this information, like things like your target audience, you know, exact problem that you are fixing, and it actually creates the marketing content for you. So I would always just give this a download just so that you can use it later. But at the end of the day, this is just your ebook. This is not the video course itself. So in the next video, I'm going to go back and actually show you how to do the video course. But if you just need that something to kind of get you a little bit of proof of concept, or it's maybe just a side product that you're working on alongside your main one, you just want an ebook for it, this is a great feature to use. And yeah, definitely start with the ebook feature. Don't go straight to the video course unless you are 100% sure that you know that you want to do that one. But I'll go into that in the next video. For now, just make sure that you guys have done your ebook, and then you can follow along in the next video when I actually do the video course. So I'll see you guys there. All right. Welcome to the biggest step in Synthesize AI, which is basically creating your video course, right? So in the last video, I took you through how to create your ebook, which, like I said, you're going to use maybe as a lead magnet, maybe as something just to get some proof of concept that your topic works. Of course, you can sell them full time if you are making lots of different ebooks, and you can really take that to a big level if you want to. But for the most part, we use it more for the proof of concept side of things. So let's say, I've made my ebook, I've got a couple of sales, I have that proof of concept, and I'll decide, okay, now it's time to step this up, turn it into a video course, and possibly sell it for a little bit more. I'm going to go back to this page. This is still the same product that I kind of found in the beginning. You'll find that here's my ebook right here. All that I want to do here is create new format, and I'm going to create a video course. Click on that, and you will see that okay, now it's time to step this up, turn it into a video course, and possibly sell it for a little bit more. I'm going to go back to this page. This is still the same product that I kind of found in the beginning. You'll find that here's my ebook right here. All that I want to do here is create new format, and I'm going to create a video course. Click on that, and you will see that the layout looks very, very similar, right? It looks exactly the same for the most part. I'm just going to get started with the visceral transformation map, which is exactly the same as the ebook step. I'm going to get started over here with the visceral transformation. There are some minor differences that you will see. All right, so you'll see here that it has now generated different digital product packaging. Okay, now, just like with an ebook,
Toilet break.
there is different types of packaging for a video course as well as an ebook, right? Now, the video courses for the most part, you will see are slightly more expensive. You'll see like case studies up to $200 here. There are still some cheap ones if it's just like a checklist and that kind of thing. But the thing that I will tell you guys is the pricing is just a guide on synthesized. Like you can definitely make it, you know, a little bit higher if you want. I've seen people make synthesized products that go super high. I've seen people kind of start a little bit lower. So it's more of a guideline. You don't have to 100% stick to it. Now, let's say the first one I did was templates, right, for the ebook. So let's say that gets people in, that gets people ready. What about like this, like a 60-day dynamic editing plan? You have the templates. Now it's time to get into the proper stuff. So maybe that's where I would start. So let's select that, and this is going to be my video course. Now it's going to go through a very similar process, but these will be slightly different again. They will be similar because it's based on the same product, but again, you don't really have to do anything on this. It's just good to read through this. And then your transformation map, which again will be relatively similar. You'll see that it always follows very similar.
So Apollo matches stuck in app, goals, chats, expiring timber timers, lukewarm replies, and no clean way to ask for a number without being pushy. Night spent swiping with nothing to show, low response rates, and zero momentum. A simple 7-day plan with daily micro missions, a clean 3-step sequence, exact timing windows, and multiple new numbers saved by day 7. Higher response rates, clean next step, and visible momentum. What do? Overthink the ask, send endless small talk, way too long, chase with double text, check the app all day, miss weekend, peak windows, and let matches expire. Screenshot combo to friends asking what to say. They then still avoid asking for digits. Follow the daily prompt. Send the clean 3-step ask at the right time. Batch message during peak hours. Lock a tiny plan and confirm with digits. Pivot, stalled, test fast. Move promising match to test with 24 to 48 hours and track win without over-texting. What is their status? Stuck, frustrated, and drained, feel like time is wasted and they are not in control, embarrassed by low conversation, and worried they'll always swiping, never meeting. Confident, calm, and in control, efficient and highly converting, proud of steady progress and excited to meet, feel like someone whose matches turn into real conversation and date quickly. Nice.
Similar structure in terms of like awareness, learning, implementation, mastery, because I think any form of learning kind of follows those 4 steps. It's just going to give you an explanation of how each step is actually going to do that. So cool, we'll continue because we've been through this step. Again, same thing, supporting references. Like I would ultimately say that this step is even more important here because in a video course, either you are going to record it and actually speak over it, or you're going to have like an AI avatar of yourself or someone else or whatever. There's different ways to do it. But if you want to come across authentic, you really need to believe in what you're saying. And I think that resources are a great way to do that. If you are interested in something and you've been watching a lot of content on YouTube from a certain creator about that topic, you can put those YouTube videos in so that Synthesize takes a lot of that information and actually puts it directly onto your scripts, right? So very, very important that you use this, but I don't have anything right now. So we'll just continue to the phases and then we are going to shoot straight to course structure. All right, so you will see that the video course